Hey guys, in today's video I'll be doing another tropical update on what is now Tropical Storm Eta. And Eta formed and became a tropical depression late last night, and actually it started forming into a tropical depression, tropical storm a good bit earlier than I thought it would be. I thought it would become a tropical depression today and then become a tropical storm by tomorrow. But no, it really got its act together throughout the day yesterday, and then it officially became Tropical Depression 29 by about late in the afternoon yesterday, and then became a tropical storm by 11 p.m. or so later that evening and early that night. So now Tropical Storm Eta is moving its way quickly west at 15 miles per hour. It is a strong tropical storm now. It has really started strengthening throughout, especially this afternoon, and is now a 65 mile per hour tropical storm. Its pressure is now down to 992 millibars. And yeah, now it will just continue on to the west and affect the very Central American countries with very, very heavy rainfall. And in fact, now the NHC hasn't put out their rainfall forecast yet, but I'll show you on the models. Some areas could see potentially 10 to 20 inches of rainfall locally. Some locally area totals are up towards 30 inches of rainfall even. And now with the new cone at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, because now, by the way, because of the daylight savings time, now the advisories are coming out at more at 7 a.m., 7 a.m., 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4 p.m. each day. So it's a bit of a difference, an hour earlier each time. So now it's expected to become a hurricane, actually, most likely by later tonight, probably by 11 p.m., I'd say. So that is pretty interesting, pretty interesting stuff there. And it will likely hit Nicaragua. Nicaragua looks to be probably the country most affected in Central America by this storm, where there's a hurricane warning now for the northern coast of Nicaragua, with hurricane watches, tropical storm warnings, and tropical storm watches for the coast of what is that? Honduras, it looks. That's Honduras, I believe. Yeah, and it looks, by the way, between now and by the time it makes landfall in Nicaragua, most likely it will continue to strengthen and become a stronger hurricane. It's not out of the question, by the way, that it gets towards major hurricane status. Looks as of right now, though, it's more likely to strengthen towards a probably weaker end or so, Category 2 hurricane, but definitely because of that, there is that chance that it could try to strengthen a bit more and get more towards that major hurricane status. So that is definitely something to watch, but that is not the more likely scenario at this point. So it's not too concerning of a outlook yet on that front. So that is what the current new cone forecast for Eta looks to be according to the National Hurricane Center now. Wind speed probabilities, tropical storm force wind probabilities, up towards 100% chance for the coast of Nicaragua. Yeah, it definitely looks like you guys will be seeing tropical storm conditions. Hurricane force wind speeds, the probabilities for hurricanes force wind speeds is now up towards about a 30 to maybe even 40% chance there for the very coast of northern Nicaragua. So, and those chances will likely go up as we go throughout tomorrow and Tuesday. So, yeah, it looks like you guys will also probably see hurricane force gusts as well. Hurricane wind speeds, actually, not just gusts, probably maybe even sustained hurricane wind speeds. So, definitely don't take that lightly. Because of how strong those winds are, likely with amount of how heavy the rainfall will be, and even there's potential for maybe some amounts of storm surge. So that is definitely going to be something we're going to have to watch. Probably by tomorrow, I'd say, we should be expecting to see the National Hurricane Center put out their official total rainfall map and potentially even their storm surge map as well, depending on whether or not they expect a certain amount of storm surge. Let's see, aircraft recon, because I believe, yeah, recon has been heading into the storm. Here's a current aircraft recon that is going through the storm currently, and it's found pretty strong winds in there, some wind speeds getting up towards that 55 to 60, even 60 to 64 knot wind speed, so that is definitely something to take into account there. If we look at that map there, you can see let me scroll this up. I don't know, I can't actually, so let me zoom this out. There we go. There we go. And you can see there is the flight level winds. They're measuring it up towards that 60 knot range, 55 to 60 knot range, and then here is the rain rate and surface winds. They've measured more up towards that 45 knot wind. So they haven't. Doesn't seem like they've gone through the strongest part of Eta yet, but they're still finding wind readings of tropical storm force anyway. So that is something to definitely take into account. Here's the satellite imagery for Eta, and it's definitely looking fantastic for sure. You can see it has that negative 90-degree cloud tops. Definitely you can see there's that nice core there, and definitely a lot of strong cloud tops blowing up in and around that core. So that is definitely a good sign of it continuing to strengthen, and why the National Hurricane Center also expects the system to likely become a hurricane quite soon, probably by later this evening, getting towards 11 p.m. I'd say. So yeah, that is a look at the satellite imagery for Eta. So that's it's pretty menacing in its own way. Now, here's some interesting things here. This is the hurricane model track guidance. You can see a majority of the hurricane models have Eta moving into Nicaragua and then generally continuing to move directly to the west into the Pacific. But there are a good bit of models that have it start to curve more to the north and back out into the Western Caribbean and maybe back towards Cuba or something. So, I don't know. I guess we'll have to keep an eye on that, but I don't know. I feel like it will generally probably continue to the west. There is a small chance, though, that maybe it curves back north or something, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Here's the GEFS ensemble model track guidance. So just like a lot of those models that were, some of those models that were being shown on the hurricane model track guidance show Eta moving directly to the west, but then curving back up to the north and northeast, going towards Cuba. And it shows the storm getting quite strong as it's approaching landfall. Another one of those storms getting towards its peak intensity right before landfall. So that's not a good thing at all either. And then it'll weaken probably pretty substantially as it moves over the land. And then let's say if it does end up curving back to the north and northeast, it looks like it will go back over to the Western Caribbean and maybe strengthen again a bit more, moving north over the Western Caribbean towards Cuba. So that is very, very interesting and definitely a solution that we should keep in mind. Here's the GEPS. This is the CMC ensemble model track guidance. You can see it shows it kind of like what I'm generally thinking still, that it will continue to the west, hit Nicaragua and continue to the west towards the Pacific. So there's that. But more concerning, probably the most concerning part of this whole thing is here's the current model intensity guidance for Eta. And it has all of the models have it definitely strengthened from this point onward, and a good bit of the models have it strengthening very quickly and really a lot between now and 24 hours from now, even getting towards that Category 2, even borderline Cat 3 status. A couple of the models, maybe 2-3 of the models or so, take it into Cat 3 status. So that's very interesting and very, very concerning to see. So again, as I said before, major hurricane status for the system does not look to be out of the question, unfortunately. So that is definitely a potential outcome for the system as well, but it's not the likely outcome. That's the main that is more of the main and more important part of that. The more likely outcome is that it will more likely strengthen and peak at a more Category 2 intensity. And then maybe there's a chance they could get to Category 3 status, but we'll have to see. But again, no matter what, it seems like this system is looking to be a pretty potent and dangerous storm in any case. All right, now here's the 18Z run just coming in. Let's see if this will work for our intensive purposes to show what Eta will be doing. All right, so there's Eta, as you can see, definitely there in the Caribbean. And as I move this forward, you can see it, the GFS shows it continuing to move to the west and bringing all that very, very heavy rainfall to Nicaragua and Honduras. Again, I said total rainfall could be 10 to 20 inches, locally up to 30 inches in some spots. And then that's the farthest it goes out and kind of has Eta generally falling apart. So now let's look at what the GFS is showing for total rainfall, what the GFS is thinking for total rainfall. And geez, yeah, you can see there's that yellow and even orange showing potentially up to 20 to 24 inches plus of rainfall getting towards northern Honduras, the northern Honduras areas, and so yeah, I mean, and even Nicaragua could be seeing rainfall totals actually as well, up towards that 2 feet plus as well. So that's very, very concerning. People living there, I really hope that you guys are able to prepare yourselves for this storm and make sure you're prepared for the potential of a lot of flash flooding and the dangerous potential for flash flooding, because there definitely looks to be some very, very good likelihood of flash flooding for you guys in Nicaragua, Honduras, and yeah, those areas. So really hope you guys are prepared for that. Okay, now let's show you what the CMC model is showing for Eta. And yeah, let's see, here is the CMC model. This is the 12Z run, I believe. I think this is, let me see. Yeah, 12Z. Here it is. Now, let's move this forward in time. There you can see the CMC showing Eta moving directly west, just like the GFS was showing, bringing that very heavy rainfall in, and then it shows it kind of curving back a bit towards the north and west, and kind of more towards the north, and then across the Yucatan, and even potentially, man, this is kind of a bit slow, but sorry about this, but then it shows it going into the Gulf, and its remnant precipitation, or whatever's left of it, shows it going into towards Louisiana. Again, that's not a good sign, but in any case, let's go out to here and show you the total rainfall the CMC is showing for those areas in Central America. And yeah, again, you can see 2 feet plus, a potential of up towards 2 feet plus rainfall totals there for Nicaragua, Honduras, even the Yucatan the CMC is showing, and yeah, Belize also potentially up towards the 2 feet plus rainfall total. So definitely very dangerous stuff there. All right, now I can show you the European model, but it's more just the vorticity that I'll be showing you. Yeah, let me show you that. There it is, and you can see the European model shows very tight vorticity for Eta as it moves into Central America, and then it starts to fall apart as the European model actually shows it heading towards, or actually, wait, this is very confusing, and maybe it actually shows it kind of doing a loop a bit and then reforming there. That's very interesting. I think that's what it might be showing, so that's very interesting. But in any case, that's what the European model is showing for Eta, becoming a pretty powerful system right before landfall, and then bringing likely very heavy rainfall as well. So that is what the European model is showing. Okay, now let's show you the 2020 Atlantic Hurricane Season Wikipedia page, and with Eta forming, we've had a total of 29 total depressions, a total of 28 named storms, record high, tied with 2005 now. We have officially tied 2005 for the record total of named storms in a hurricane season. Incredible, truly incredible, honestly. Total of 11 hurricanes, total of 4 major hurricanes. Looks like Eta might become our 12th hurricane of the season. Very, very insane. Because 2005's record high of total hurricanes was 15, so crazy that we might get within three hurricanes from that, so that's pretty crazy. Depends, we'll see if Eta becomes a major hurricane. That would make it our 5th major hurricane this season, but doesn't look too likely at this point. We'll have to see, though, what happens. And then total fatalities so far this season is at 159, and total damage so far this season is somewhere around $27.873 billion. So pretty decently damaged season for the amount of named storms that we've seen hit the U.S. Of course, we've seen Laura hit the U.S., Delta hit the U.S. Those two were really damaging for the U.S., especially, of course, both along the Gulf Coast and almost generally the same area. Pretty much actually the exact same area, actually. And then there, of course, was Zeta that hit New Orleans dead on, which was really devastating. And that was the first time, I think, New Orleans saw a head-on landfall in a very, very long time. Now, here is the total ACE value of the total for the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season, and the total ACE value now is at 139.6 units. So, ACE value has gone up pretty substantially with the amount of strong tropical cyclones we've seen going through September and even through October, especially because of Delta, Epsilon, and Zeta, and maybe even now Eta could produce a good amount of ACE for the hurricane season as well. So yeah, again, we've got to Eta. Now we've had a total of 7 named Greek alphabet storms, and we could see another, 2 to 4 more potentially. So that is very, very concerning. And it looks like we'll definitely beat 2005 in terms of total named storms in the end. Again, we could see a total of, I'd say, between 30 to 32 named storms even. So that's pretty insane. My official forecast is 30 named storms, though maybe we could see slightly more than that by just a bit. But I think 30 named storms is a good official forecast, final official forecast for this hurricane season now. Yeah, we've had a total of 29 systems, counting Tropical Depression 10, which did not form into a named system. But yeah, we've had 28 total named systems, which has officially tied us now with 2005 for the record high of amount of total named storms for any hurricane season. So that's really insane. We'll likely beat 2005 for the total amount of named storms in a hurricane season, and just come quite close, maybe just a bit short, just barely short of tying 2005 for total amount of hurricanes if Eta becomes our 12th hurricane, which it will likely, definitely will. So yeah, that's it's really insane. Yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. Really hope you enjoyed this video. This is my update on Tropical Storm Eta, which will likely become Hurricane Eta by later this evening, probably towards 11 p.m. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found it informative. And if you did, please consider liking the video, commenting on the video. If you're a first-time viewer and you liked what you saw in today's video, if you like my channel, I do tons of tropical content on my channel. So if you like that kind of content, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.